What's good, everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're reacting to all the hidden Easter eggs and secrets you missed in the FNAF 2 movie trailer. Yep, this is a thing. With me doing the whole trailer last week involving the whole FNAF 2 movie trailer, I figured it'd be cool to do this to see what everyone else from the community would see, notice, and all that. At least in my opinion, that is. Originally, I was gonna do something else. Like I in my recommendations, there was this trailer for a remake of Infamous, and I honestly thought it was the real thing. I was gonna do it, checked it out, and realized it wasn't. That made me a bit sad, in all honesty. I really like that game series, but I guess we're not getting a remake yet. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button below, hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. The notification button will notify me when the video comes out. If there's any videos you'd like to recommend that I should react to, put it down in the comment section below, and I'll react to it as soon as possible. And other than that, the link to this video is going to be down in the description below. So be sure to give Twisted Animatronics some love and support for that video that they made that I'm reacting to. And yeah, other than that, let's get right on into this, shall we?
So the FNAF 2 trailer has dropped, and in it there's so many Easter eggs and hidden secrets, and in today's video we're going to be breaking all them down, and believe me, you're not going to want to miss a single bit of this. And I'd like to start immediately by saying they talk about the FNAF 2 location, and they say this is one of the originals, not a franchise location, and it's been abandoned for decades. That is extremely interesting, and I'll come back to that later. We obviously see the Freddy Fazbear Pizza logo. It has the toys on there, we can see it right now, Bonnie, Freddy and Chica, and it shows us basically the inside of the location. We see Balloon Boy, which is absolutely fantastic. We see a kind of like ride in the location where it kind of looks like a log flume ride where it's inside a cave and you can see like all the water underneath. Well, the water's been drained and they're going over a bridge. You know, kind of like that one Rainforest Cafe location, and they've got a ride inside of their location. Just kind of reminiscent to that. And what is interesting is these group of explorers are going in with a camcorder, like documenting their findings. And this is where things get interesting. They reveal the toys hidden behind a curtain, saying that a girl has been murdered. They're under like lots of sheets and everything else, and the guy is still recording this, and it says some little girl got murdered here. Now, is that in relation to the puppet? Because obviously we know Charlie was murdered and goes inside of the puppet and possesses it. Because the next scene we see is a lady going into a room with a giant like present box, and we all know what was in the present box in FNAF 2, and that was the puppet. It seems to be mechanical, it's getting wound up.
Honestly, I don't think I heard that. So the fact that I'm hearing it now, honestly, yes. That's just my lack of attention skills, which is honestly kind of disappointing to hear, but yeah, makes sense. So if that's the case, how will that work?
Up, ready to pounce or something jump out of it, and then obviously it all goes black. It doesn't show us the puppet in its.
Oh yeah, I also realized something, because I don't think anyone mentioned it, but that means that the one script involving an area that people can play on, what was it called again? What was the thing called again? A merry-go-round or something like that? That involved a secret passage. Yes, whatever that is, well, yes, that would be the part of the script that is correct in this case, right? Yeah. It's something that I always had in the back of my mind after making the reaction to the FNAF 2 trailer, and I kept thinking back on those 3 scripts. I was thinking, what was the 3 scripts about again? And then I kind of vaguely remembered it. I didn't have the time to go back and look to see what they were, but I did remember that it involved 2 scenes that sounded like something that would be from the beginning. So yeah.
Entirety. And obviously then the lady screams. Now you might be asking the question, well, is the puppet actually in it? Well, this is a clear giveaway, yes. And then later on we actually see the puppet's hands, and there it is. At 1 minute 42 you see the hands go over what looks to be a skylight, and it's clearly the puppet's hands. That is an animatronic hand. It has 3 fingers on there, again exactly like the puppet, so we know the puppet is definitely there. And upon further examination at 1:47 in the trailer, where we see a scene of Vanessa herself in the background blurred out, is actually the puppet right there. That's confirmation number 1. We also see Mangle. She literally attacks like the big van or car in the trailer. Again, that's great because we now know Mangle is in there. At 1:57 you literally see an animatronic with 1 eye and a patch over it, and all around it is completely withered. That to me is obviously one of the withereds. But what is really confusing in this is they say it's an original location. Now, if it was an original location, that would mean pre-1987, right? Surely an original location would be 1983. Does that mean then the withereds were original in this location and then they went to the toys because they refurbished the location in 1987? Before it goes into a franchise, basically that's what they say. We see what seems to be like a snippet of Springtrap in there. Now, whether that's a vision, like a hallucination, which Vanessa is seeing, is unknown at this stage, because he seems to grab her by the throat and, she pulls a gun out. I personally think that's kind of like her imagining something and he's in the house. But this is the really interesting one for me. There's a snippet right at the very end at 2:04 where you see Mike looking down a corridor, exactly like the corridor in the FNAF 2 location game. There's no doors there, it's an open front, open corridor, vent to your left, bits and pieces there. And what else do we see? The awesome callback to the FNAF 2 mask. And Mike actually says there's no way this will work, where we then see him put the mask on and it fools Withered Chica. We also see Withered Bonnie, what looks to be climbing through some type of vent. And interestingly enough here, Mike actually has the flashlight. Now, we know the flashlight in FNAF 2, the game, was used to kind of like daze Foxy. So it'll be interesting to see whether Mike uses that flashlight in the movie to literally daze Foxy. We know that the animatronics are also out in the open. They clearly state that during the trailer. And we see Toy Freddy literally going through like the FNAF fest, and all the people are kind of looking at him. So we obviously know the animatronics are out in the town in this film. We also see a scene in that log flume location inside.
That one's actually kind of confusing to me. Why are they out? Because that makes no sense to me. Because they're just out and about in public. They never really do that. They mainly... Well, the originals just mainly stayed inside. The only time they ever left was to get Abby. So this actually doesn't make sense. What could allow them? Or is it because the toys? I thought they couldn't leave the premises because of security stuff. This is leading to so many confusing things, in all honesty. What could it mean?
Side of the FNAF 2 location, where the water seems to be there and something's coming under the water. Now, in terms of animatronics, what could that be? Because we know water in the first one seems to short them out. So what would actually be under the water in this location? It couldn't be anything electrical, right? Because it would short them out. That would totally go against everything we saw in the first FNAF 1 location. Unless, for whatever reason, these toy animatronics are resilient to water. Literally waterproof. That would be the only thing. And actually, just before this frame of what was under the water, we see what looks like a propeller hat go underneath the water. That, to me, is definitely Balloon Boy, right? That would mean that Balloon Boy is, in fact, not electrical and wind up, mechanical as such. Well, that's what I believe would be under the water anyway. We also kind of get a snippet of Mike and Vanessa together in like an intimate dining setting. Now, that doesn't mean they're together, as in like together. It could mean they're, you know, really close friends and they're going out to celebrate something, her getting better, whatever it might be. He does give the indication that we've come pretty far, is what he says. Now, is that them together as friends or them developing a relationship is unknown. Mike is definitely in a suit and tie, which is new for him because, you know, he usually just goes around in his normal clothes. Vanessa's looking quite dolled up as well in a nice dress. That could be because it's a nice restaurant, but whether they're together or not is unknown at this stage. We clearly know the plot is going to focus around Abby going to find the old animatronics. You know, we see the Faz talker, them trying to communicate with Abby, help them, repair them. In doing so, they come across the toys. The toys have obviously escaped this location, which I have theories on this in the past. Basically, I think their facial recognition software has gone absolutely haywire and they're seeing everyone in the database as criminals and they're going out there attacking anyone they see fit. I mean, anyone who's on the criminal database, whether it's a parking fine, you know, littering, whatever it might be, they're targeting these people because they're connected to the database and decide to hunt them down. You know, and just from this...
Oh, yeah. They are connected to a criminal database. That's actually really bad now. Because if they recognize everyone as a criminal... Oh boy, that's, yeah, that's not good. The only thing that really would get to the animatronics is the fact that if they wore a, Fazbear outfit. Though I don't know if the costumes would work. It just seems very, I don't know, iffy. If that makes sense, at least. I don't know for sure. I could be wrong, but yeah, that could be the case.
2 minutes worth of a trailer, we've already confirmed numerous things which we were speculating on previously. Is the puppet in there? That is now confirmed. Are the Wizards in there? That is now confirmed. A FNAF 2 location, kind of confirming that they were the originals. So the Wizards were probably there before the FNAF 2 animatronics. So although this was a 2-minute trailer, we've got so much information out of it already. We know the puppet is now in there. We know the Wizards are in there. Mangle is in there. And interestingly enough, it tells us that this FNAF 2 location was an original location. But by that, do they mean original 1983 or original 1987? And are the Wizards the classics we see in the original movie? So that's a little bit up in the air. Obviously, I've got loads of theories on that on the channel, so I highly recommend checking them out and how they can play into this movie. I really love the designs. I think the designs look fantastic, especially on the animatronics. Absolutely great designs there. Really looking forward to seeing them. Really looking forward to seeing Springtrap as well. A bit more decrepit maybe. Henry in some of the flashback scenes because we know he is now part of this thanks to behind the scenes information. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this story is going to play out.
Skeet? Huh, that name actually sounds familiar. I don't... And that's... in that Bond clip, it looks familiar. I don't remember what movie it was. I know I saw it. But it's not coming to mind. Okay. But anyway, so Henry Emily is actually being confirmed to be in part of this movie. That's interesting. Really cool. I'm really gonna be interested in seeing how the withers are made. Like, I really want to see how they go about making the withers. Like, the eyes were one thing with the originals. I want to see what they do with the withers. If the detail is accurate. And I want to see what they did with Bonnie's eyes. I really do hope that's like, his wither counterpart from the game. Because that one actually gave a creepy vibe. And that would be really cool to see. But I guess there's only one way to find out when it comes to that. I mean, the trailer, it looks good. But until we see it on screen, I can't really give a solid opinion until we see it.
Again, if you want to know more on the backstory and everything else, I've done videos on that previously, so I'm not going to regurgitate it here. I just wanted to point out well, for me, what I saw and what I believe are definitely interesting finds and confirmation of what's in the movie. And if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe for plenty more FNAF content, and there's loads on the channel. Go watch it after this. I'm Twisted Animatronic. Stay safe out.
Okay, I guess we're done now with the video. But, yeah, this is an interesting one in all honesty. So much to really say about this one. I gotta admit, there is a lot of stuff to think about when it comes to this movie. And the fact that there's all this stuff here, some stuff that I didn't know, some things that I know I made comment about here and there. Oh, I don't know what that was. Okay. But anyway, yeah, this is actually a really interesting thing. At least so many things happening. And yet, I wonder, what to really say? Because honestly, the biggest thing I didn't know about that seems really cool and interesting is the fact that we're actually going to see Henry Emily. And I kind of want to see how they do Henry Emily in these flashbacks. Because that sounds really, really interesting. A lot of questions, so many things to wonder, and yet all these things can only be answered when the movie comes out. Oh, I'm getting a bit impatient waiting for that movie. But I guess that'll do for now. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button below, hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. The notification button to notify me when a new video comes out. And tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. I'd like to hear your opinion about the movie. With all this information that Twisted Animatronic gave us, I really want to hear your opinion about what you think is going to happen, what's going to go on. Honestly, I feel like there's going to be something else going on. This might be more towards the fourth closet. No. Anyway, I think it's more like the book series. You know, the original three. Silver Eyes, Fourth Closet, and I don't know why, but I can't remember the second one. Like, I can remember the first and third book with no issue, but when it comes to the second book, I always forget it. But what I'm thinking is this might be more leaning towards the books a bit more this time around. Maybe. Anyway, with this all said, hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!